Hey, what's going on, guys? Like Butter here, and today I got a Division video because I want to go over all the information that was released today on State of the Game. State of the Game is a weekly series that the Division developers do to kind of talk about in-game problems and things that are going on, and pretty much just talk about the state of the game. I know, who would have known? But there were some things talked about today that I think will definitely change the way you play and the way you look at items. So I want to kind of go over that. The biggest thing is that there's been this Casper, this Invisible, this Ghost glitch that's been going on in the Division that's really been killing it for players because of it being such a game-breaking bug. Well, the developers actually hustled really hard. I can only imagine how hard it was to get it into this week's maintenance, but they actually got it done, and I'm super just proud of them and happy that they worked this hard to get the patch in as soon as possible. I was thinking the other day, I was thinking about old games when I used to play PS2 online, games like SOCOM 2. It took months for developers to deploy an update, and the fact that they got a server-side fix for this bug in just a couple of days was pretty awesome. So you guys shouldn't be running into people abusing this glitch anymore. It's 100% fixed. If there's another version of it that pops up, that would really suck, but for right now, it seems like it is okay. So, head into the Dark Zone, head into that Last Stand. You shouldn't have any more issues. So they also talked about some upcoming changes that are going to be happening in this 1.6.1 build. I think that's probably what they're going to be calling it. Basically, there's going to be a bug fixing patch that comes out before the big content update that we're getting in the summer. So we're getting a major content update, I would assume probably in like June-ish. There's no date quite yet for it, but they did state that there was going to be an update and also a PTS for this update, which is just going to be fixing bugs, tweaking stuff, and doing other things like that. And this PTS, unfortunately, will not be on console, but the 1.7 PTS will. So you don't have to worry about that. The content update, people who are on Xbox or on PS4 are going to be able to test it early, which is something that I always thought would be good because, as most of you guys know on the Division, PC plays very differently than it does on console. So hopefully with this console PTS coming this summer, we can kind of pinpoint any types of issues that would come up on console and not on PC. I'm very happy that this bug fixing patch is going to be on PC, so I can check it out and kind of show you guys on stream and in YouTube videos kind of what all the changes are all about. So the things that they talked about changing, one is something that you're going to see me abusing a lot in this video, is Nimble. Now I know a lot of people didn't want Nimble to be changed, but it is probably going to get changed. Hamish was talking about the potential fix that they had for it to make it not as broken as it is right now. I've been saying, since I think 1.4, when I discovered how super strong Nimble was, that it was just super overpowered. Now, the reason I feel like a lot of people don't want Nimble to change, and I know you guys are already probably pissed off at me because I said that it's overpowered, but if you look at it, if you have skills that come off cooldown every 20 to 30 seconds that heal you for a bar and a half, right? Like if you have like a normal amount of skill power, it's usually a bar and a half. Well, why should you be able to constantly heal back up to full just by running cover to cover? I just think that's a little bit ridiculous. Now, the change that they have doesn't seem like it's going to completely kill Nimble. My suggestion was to actually add a cooldown to Nimble, so leave it exactly how it was, but make it so that you can only use it every 5 seconds so that people can't spam from cover to cover to cover to cover to cover like I do in this video, where you can basically just tank bullets the entire time. But what they want to implement is they want to make it so that the healing is over time, over a period of 4 seconds, and you have to stay in the cover that you're running to for those 4 seconds. So the second you leave cover, you're not going to be receiving the healing anymore, which I think is a pretty good change, because I think the whole reason for Nimble to exist was so that when you ran to cover, you would basically get this heal boost, which you're still going to get, but it's going to happen over time rather than an instant heal. And I think this is going to be a lot better for PvP because you're going to have time to finish them off if they're already low when they're running from cover to cover. And I think that a huge reason why people are abusing Nimble so much right now is because of the new squishiness in 1.6 that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with the removal of armor as a major attribute, and also the nerf to all the resistances that you get on player talents. I mean, you can probably tell that you're getting shot and you're getting put down a lot quicker, which is good for PvP, but for PvE, it can be a bit frustrating because, you know, you're taking damage from, you know, 6, 7, 8 NPCs, and all of a sudden your health is completely gone. You don't know what's going on. So the best way to combat that right now is just to use Nimble, like you can see me on screen here, just getting to full health constantly. Now, this next change that I'm going to talk about is going to make it so that that change to Nimble isn't as bad as you might think. Now, a huge reason why the overall squishiness of the game feels the way that it does is because medkits are extremely underwhelming. Now, why were medkits so strong prior to 1.6? The reason is because you had these player talents such as critical save, on the move, battle buddy. You had all these, you know, in combination with booster shot, and the amount of mitigation you had from armor, because pretty much everyone was building armor. When you take the 50% some odd, you know, mitigation that you have, and you combine that with the resistance that you're getting from booster shot, and the resistances that you're getting from like critical save and all that, it's almost impossible for you to take damage. You can actually see damage numbers going into the 100s. So when you would use a medkit in 1.5 or before, you would actually get heal over time. So the medkits actually heal you for 40% of your health, and then they heal you for like another 25 to 30% over time. That's kind of how it works. That's why, if you guys remember, triage was completely broken with medkits, because it would basically give you 15% cooldown for every little tick of health it would give you after the initial heal. That's obviously fixed now, but the reason it doesn't feel like the medkits are doing as much these days is because even though you're getting the same amount that you were in the previous patches, with the reduction of armor mitigation and all the resistances that you would get from critical save, you're not constantly healing through that damage that you're taking like you used to. So they talked about medkits getting a buff, and that this is going to be a server-side change. So this actually might come before the update, which will be interesting. They might even do it like next week in the weekly maintenance, do like a you know, a medkit buff. And I think anywhere between like 15 to 20% would be good. I think when you use a medkit, it should heal you for half your health and then heal you for the rest of your health over time. And the reason that this isn't super broken, now if this were to be in the last patch, it would be super broke. But like I said, with all the changes to the player talents and stuff, I think that, you know, using a medkit and having it go you know, to 50, maybe even 75% of your health, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Even for PvP, I don't think it will be that broken, because currently medkits they almost feel non-existent. With the animation to medkits, when you like stab yourself or whatever, it almost feels like you have a better chance of just fighting it out than you do actually going through that animation to get the heal. So that's something that they're going to be changing as well. Also, they talked about stagger on weapons. You guys know that stagger is super frustrating right now with things like the SASG, the SVD. When you're getting shot by a player with these high stagger weapons, it's almost like you can't even, you know, you can't even fight. Your aim goes flying up in the air. So the stagger is also going to be reduced. So you can see there are a lot of changes that are helping the overall quality of the game, and I think that is super, super good for the future, because obviously a lot of these things are kind of holding the game back as a whole. And I think that, you know, this patch really is the most balanced a patch has ever been, in my opinion. Like, you're seeing so many people run around with different builds using different weapons, and it's just so nice to see so many people trying different things and actually being able to use those in a productive way. Another huge change that I want to mention before the end of this video is that Stagger is going to be completely removed from the Airburst Seeker Mines. Seeker Mines has been a super annoying thing ever since 1.6 dropped because of the overall squishiness of your character. You are taking tons of damage to people who are stacking a lot of skill power, and it doesn't feel very good to get one-shotted by a Seeker Mine. So what they're actually doing is they're taking the stagger completely off, and they're moving some of the initial damage from the explosion over to the burn over time. So you're going to have more of a reaction to be able to remove that status effect and not get completely just one-shotted. And I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with that change. I will keep you guys updated in future videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop the video a like, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care, everybody.